have here on my desk a Dell Latitude E6520 and a Dell Latitude E6530. The 6530 of course uses the third generation Intel Core processors with the USB 3, the newer graphics card, and the ability to use the faster DDR3 RAM. Other than that, most of the chassis between the two is unchanged. On the E6530, you'll note they now include a hard drive LED on the upper part of the chassis here, whereas on the 6520 they only include the battery and power light. Opening, it's the same. The 6520 has the cool little orange seal pinstripe on it, whereas the 6530 does not. The 6530 does give you the model number down here, whereas on the 6520 it just says Latitude. The other major difference that I really like now is taking the bottom cover off to swap RAM. On the 6520, if you want to take the bottom cover off, you have to remove 8 screws. 2 of those are for the hard drive, and the rest are for the bottom cover. On the 6530, you only have to remove 4 screws. This is a 6520 chassis cover. It is designed to pretty much, you put the front end in first and then lay it down and kind of push it back, whereas now the E6530 has some snaps on the underside of the cover, right here, 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 and there, and over there, allowing the cover to sit down and snap in rather than sit down and get pushed forward. Other than that, it's virtually the same design as the 6520. And then I also noticed on the, here's the 6520's heatsink fan combo. You got the CPU heatsink and heat pipe running this way, and the graphics one runs back around this way. The chassis on the fan is plastic, and on the 6530, the both heatsink pipes run up and over the fan. The fan chassis is metal. It looks like maybe the fan design is a little bit different. I don't know why they do the whole black painting. I don't know if it's when they paint the bottom chassis, but I've noticed sometimes you have some with more paint than the others. I noticed the speakers on the 6530 are different than the ones on the 6520. And with the hard drive on the 6520, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws to remove. On the 6530, you only have 2. One is needed to remove the bottom cover, and they are the longer, finer thread screws, not your typical hard drive screws. Little rubber hard drive disk isolation on here, little rubber set of covers on each side of the hard drive. So that's interesting to note on the 6530. I don't know if that's for noise or for any shock-proof protection. Just noting the differences in the chassis of the 6520 versus the 6530. Thanks for watching.